Looks like they back for a 5th season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT Crew.
Whoa.
SRT, they got that realness flowing in they DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so, what you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy, break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal with Roll Tide forever, real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT, behind the glass, that G-Money. They with a strong, I never lose, 6-man elite, that's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe it. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's Sports Roundtable, and we're live in our virtual studios, overlooking everywhere, overlooking the digital universe. Yes, so I am your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and waiting on my co-host to jump in here with me, man. We got a special show, a great show to get started with you. Happy SRT Wednesday. Thank you for another day. And once again, it is October, and that is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. With that being said, you already know SRT is not just a sports show. We try to dig into the community, and we got a special guest coming on tonight around 8:45. Please stay tuned for that, as Dr. Beth Goodman, Dr. Sprinkles, aka Dr. Sprinkles, will be in studio virtually, of course, to talk about her journey to survive breast cancer. Yes, we got to make sure we tune in for that. And shouts out to everybody tuning in. I see you, Mo. I see you, Dez, and we waiting on Mr. Hancock to tune in so we can get this thing started. We got some hot news. Hopefully, D will come on and talk about how he needs to defend Alabama. Alabama took an L this week, and everybody started texting me about what is D Will coming on the show this week and all this other kind of stuff. So, hey, we'll see. We definitely will see that and see if he's going to tap in with us to see if he's going to defend Kalen DeBoer. Yep, if you hear that in the background, that is my hot water. I'm about to make me some. I was gonna make me some coffee, but had to jump on here. So here we are again, waiting on Mr. Hancock to jump on in with us, and we can go ahead and get things started. But let's talk about these Falcons. Let's go ahead and jump off on this. Talk about the Falcons. I was on the show Saturday, and I said the Braves disappointed us in losing in the playoffs. Probably played the worst baseball of the year. Probably on purpose. And I'm gonna believe this, on purpose, so the Atlanta Falcons can have the city to themselves when they did what they did on, was it Thursday night or Monday night? I can't even remember, but yes, sir. D will say he will be on shortly. D will say he will be on shortly. So, hey, yeah, Mo, that is my tea kettle. Let me go and cut that down. I'll be right back. I see it's bothering y'all, so y'all hold tight. Be right back. See, that didn't take long. That didn't take long at all. Tea kettle. There you go. My tea kettle. What's going on, Marty? Yes, sir, man. Shout out to 8 Ball and MJG down there in Memphis, man. Finally got they due diligence and get in there. The 8 Ball Boulevard and MJG Avenue. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So shout out to the Ball and G. Shout out to Memphis 10. and doing their thing. D Will say he will be on shortly, so y'all stay tuned. I know y'all waiting to hear what he have to say about this. Hancock said he'll be on shortly as well, so it will be a full crew tonight. But again, we got to talk about them Falcons and how they impressed and how they did what they needed to do. And it was a awesome feeling. I should say that it was an awesome feeling. The city was on fire Thursday. I tell you that much. I think most people were late for work. They blamed it on traffic, but you can go ahead and blame it on the Falcons. I can tell you that the city was on fire Thursday night, and it was and the Falcons had all of the fans to themselves, and you didn't have to worry about sharing it with the Atlanta Braves and the playoffs and things of that nature. So, yep, the Falcons did what they needed to do. Yep, the whole city was rising up for sure. Well, while we're waiting on D Will and in hand, let me tell you what kind of trouble I got into this week. They got this fella named Mr. Chime Time, who's a food reviewer, and he said he was in Atlanta. And his one of his stops was at the Varsity, and another stop was at I can't even remember, but it wasn't at any place that I would recommend for him to go. And he went to a couple of different spots, and he sums up that Atlanta scene food is trash and it's crashing. And I'm gonna stand on business for my city. Man, I went to the reviews, and when I tell you I ate him up, yes sir, I ate him up, baby. He hasn't responded yet, but I'm pretty sure he will respond. But yeah, I told him on several occasions, you got to go to Big Easy Grill. That's the only way you can get back from the get back is to go to Big Easy Grill and get you some of those good old seafood. He down at the Varsity. I guess he needed his stomach to be upset. So, I mean, yeah, people in Atlanta don't even go to the Varsity. The only time you go to the Varsity is when you're in elementary school and you're on a field trip. I mean, let's be real. That is the only time you're actually going to the Varsity. And I mean, it's not your choice. They have to take you there. So, I mean, he didn't hit places like J.R. Crickets or Mary Max. I mean, he didn't hit places. He didn't hit the good places. All right, there go Mr. Hancock. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Hand is in the building.
What's up, big homie?
Yeah, my man is Mr. Hancock. Mr. Hancock, the sports superheroes in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give him a round of applause.
My man.
Actually, that was for Mr. Dak.
That was for Mr. Dak.
Yeah, that was for Mr. Dak. Dak
Well,
said you owe him an apology.
No, because Dak gon' Dak now. Because Dak surely Dak for me. He definitely Daked a couple of times.
But
you know what's funny, big homie?
What's that?
It's funny when your star quarterback, the best play he makes is that he recovers a fumble in the biggest win that you had so far this year. That's the biggest play he made. Not that he made a play down the field or, even the game-winning touchdown, that's a big play. But the most, I guess, outstanding play he made was getting back on the football after that stupid call of trying to run the ball out of the eye when you're on the half-yard line. I think what did they say? The closest distance between two points is a straight line. Why not quarterback sneak?
That is fine.
Yeah, quarterback sneak, man. Everybody in football, except the Kansas City Chiefs, basically, puts their quarterback under center and put a player behind him and push him in the end zone. And I'm like, I didn't understand the call. It almost came back to Hunt. You fumbled the ball, it was a solid hit. But my point on it is, why you take the ball off the line of scrimmage, off the goal line? Just go for the half yard with a quarterback sneak. It made no sense. And if you weren't going to quarterback sneak it, why did you bring Zeke back? Zeke is not good for anything else but short yards. Am I right? I mean, right or wrong? He's a power back that can get you a yard. So if you're going to run a running back and on the goal line, you use Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to bring a load. It made no sense to me. I didn't understand that call. It almost came back to Hunt. But anyway, that's the way I feel about that whole situation. So now I don't feel like I owe Dak an apology. Like I said, the biggest play he made in the whole game was recovering the phone.
Boy, you hard on Dak, ain't
you? I'm just a realist, man. Just a realist. I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm a realist.
Hey, Dad say Dak got him in second place in the fantasy league and leading the league.
I heard that. Well, he gonna get you some empty stats. He's a hell of a fantasy quarterback because what he's doing, hell of a fantasy quarterback because he's gonna put up empty stats. If you go back and look all year, there have been stats that he's putting up at the end of games where they've gotten blown out, and he has to throw every down. So he's averaging about 30, 40 attempts a game. I think one game he had like 50 attempts. So he's gonna get you some yardage, some touchdowns. Because we've been behind like 2 and 3 touchdowns in 2 of the games. So, hell of a fantasy quarterback.
All right. Well, D. Will just joined us. D. Will, I just won a bet. Somebody bet me that you would not join on tonight. I said, D. Will is not running. Believe me, he will not run. D. Will coming on and everything. I say he may have a hoodie on, but he ain't running.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. So
why I got my hoodie on, right? This my South Park Who Killed Kenny look.
I heard that.
There you go. How did you do in fantasy this week?
Oh yeah, I tapped somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, I tapped somebody. Hey, listen, I'm putting up the second most points in the league. I'm putting up points, and I want y'all to know I made probably, and I need Jay Smooth. I need the commish to come out and say this. I made the biggest free agent pickup of the week. When I went an hour before the game and signed off of waivers, Mr. Tolbert from One Hancock's Dallas Cowboys, and he went off. And he caught that last second touchdown to put me over the edge, to put me over. I think I hit 161, 170 almost on the points.
There it is.
So I need my props.
Yeah, okay. Shout out Big D. Well, got to make them GM moves, baby. No doubt about it. Got to make GM moves. Got to make them. Got to make them.
All right, real quick. It's time for the hot news. Boy, that sound bad. Time for the hot news. There we go. 1193 Collier Road. Big Easy Grill is the place to be. Mr. Chime Time, go to the Big Easy Grill. I'm tired of you going to all these other spots. I told Mr. Chime Time, D. Will, and I was telling, our tenants, Hancock, you wasn't listening either. But Mr. Chime Time chimed in. He's in Atlanta doing food reviews, and he going to the Varsity and said that Atlanta food trash. I'm like, bro, the only time you go to the Varsity if you're in Atlanta, if you go on a field trip. I mean, I'm just saying. So, bruh, I told him, look, if there's a problem, I got a solution. The solution is, let me know when you're coming back. I will volunteer to take you around town, to take you to all the food places. And that way you won't be talking about Atlanta food is trash. But anyway, that's beside the point. But Big Easy Grill, go on to Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia, where you take 2 bites to get rid of 1 shrimp, the crab claws, the catfish bites, the whole shebang. Big Easy Grill, 10% off any meal, $25 or more. Just go ahead and mention SRT or Sports Roundtable, and you in the game. All right. Our first item up to bid is the Bama boys get bit. They get bit, and I'm gonna be honest, D. Will. I will say this: all these people on these talk shows talking about they didn't know how to handle success and all this other kind of stuff. But I'm gonna say this, and you have to put Vegas on blast for this one. Before the season started, they had point spreads for every game before the season started. The point spread for the Alabama Vanderbilt game was at 33 before the season. They beat Georgia. They go into the Vanderbilt game. All of a sudden, the point spread drops all the way down to 24. I mean, talk to me now. So Vegas, you already knew that everybody was going to jump on the Alabama bandwagon. And you made all your money back that you lost when Alabama beat Georgia.
Yep.
I mean, so I'm just, it's not defending anybody. I'm just looking at it as me and Hancock. We try to get our fruit cups up every week. And that we did not see that. We was on a late night call. We was like, well, Hancock even said Georgia or Alabama, one of them would go cover. Neither one covered, but Las Vegas made their money all the way back. And Han has already said that they're not building buildings with tax money. They're building buildings with betting money. All right, D-Will, I'm going to let you go first. The Bama boys got bit. Your thoughts on the game and what happened, and can Kalen DeBoer rectify this situation moving forward as they play South Carolina this week? And I noticed that the point spread is on the 21.
All right, where do I start? I will start here. It's Vanderbilt, bro. Like, you walk in playing Vanderbilt and you've won the game with your third string players. You expect for Jalen Milroe to be on the bench by early in the third quarter. Typically, Vanderbilt has beaten Alabama one time, now two, in the last 40 years. In my entire existence on this earth, we've lost to Vanderbilt 2 times, right? So I will say this. That was an anomaly more than anything else. So I'm not even all the prognosticators that jump off every cliff as soon as something happens. Bama's done. Just like they said, Georgia's done. Everybody's done when they lose a game, right? Which we know is horse crap, right? So I really didn't put much stock into that. But here's the issue I have with what happened on Saturday. My issue is with Kalen DeBoer. And it's not Kalen DeBoer's prowess as a head coach and ability to lead Alabama to a national championship. My issue is I really don't think he got the kahunas to do the job. We understand that Kalen DeBoer is a nice guy. He is ice to Nick Saban's fire, right? And if you don't have that nasty in you, like for your team to be a team full of dogs, you have to be a dog. We understand Nick Saban was the most intimidating person in Alabama's program with all of those big-time players that he coached over 17 seasons that went on to first-round draft picks and made buku's money in the NFL. All of those guys were dogs because their leader was a dog, right? You saw on Saturday, this past Saturday, Kalen DeBoer might not be a dog. He might just be a really good football coach. And really good football coaches sometimes win. But when you're running a program like Alabama, you have to be a dog. And I just don't know if Kalen DeBoer is that. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have what it takes to win, but I don't think he has what it takes to win at the level that Alabama is expected to win it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hand, what you got?
Yeah. Well, Big Homie, you did mention what we had talked about on our call that we have leading into Saturday, leading into our Fruit Cup weekends. And what you did mention that I said one of them will cover it. And I was wrong on that. But what I said that this would probably be a tough game, more tough for Alabama than it was for Georgia. And the reason I felt that way was because Bama came away with the win last week. Mm-hmm. And that was I'm not gonna say they didn't have the hunger, but they didn't have the desperate nature of I need to get a W back. I had an L in my column that Georgia had. And when you go into the SEC, this has been one of my questions for Caleb DeBoer. And this is Caleb DeBoer, whatever his name is, but I don't mean no disrespect, D. We don't know his name. Caleb DeBoer?
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah. Coach DeBoer. Coach DeBoer.
Coach Debo. But he ain't Debo. He ain't Debo.
And you are right. Because my point and what I said was it's fine on the big games to get these kids up. And I mentioned last week, these are 18-year-old kids. The key to what Nick Saban did was to always tell these kids, you ain't done nothing. Mm-hmm. You haven't done a thing when you beat Georgia. Go in there and beat them sleepy teams to validate what you did. You go around the SEC, them little college towns and places that you go, they're sitting there waiting, and it's their Super Bowl every time the big dog comes in there. And you have to be ready to beat them. Yeah, he's not going to have a problem getting up for teams that are on the radar. Mm-hmm. The teams you got to worry about are the Vandy's, the Mississippi States, them little sleepy schools like that. They got a few athletes, got some transfer portal kids, got some players that have been playing college football since old Heck was a pup. It's
since the Obama administration.
Exactly, that's the point. And you got somebody like Diego Pavia, who's played countless snaps of football, and it's not scared. He's not scared of the moments. He's not scared. It don't matter. Everything he's playing for, it's like, man, I ain't got no scared. What I'm scared to throw this ball on 4th down and 10. It don't matter to him. He ain't got no skin in the game like that. He'll never have to buy a drink in Nashville ever again. He'll never have to do anything else in Nashville as far as pulling his wallet out because he beat the #1 team in the nation and he plays for Vanderbilt. He has no problems, no more in the rest of his life. But again, this is about the Bama program. This is what Kalen DeBoer has to understand about the SEC. It ain't just the big games. It's the little ones too, to validate what you do in the big games, because you got to beat them too. And I didn't know if he was ready for that. And he showed. One more thing, D-Will, before you go. Malachi Moore, the way he acted on that field, he wouldn't have done that under Nick Saban. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't believe he would have been kicking footballs. I don't think he would have been acting a damn fool the way he did. Nick wouldn't have had that. That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassment to your head coach. It is. And then for Kalen DeBoer to come out and say, he propped him up and said, well, this is one of the guys. I know his character. I know that, he stood up. He basically stood up for me. He was one of the guys that held it together, didn't get in the portal. But that's fine and dandy. You don't look strong when you say that, D-Will. I'm sorry. You don't look like you're the leader of the program when your kid is acting a fool out there, throwing tantrums like that. That was classless. That was like he didn't have control of things right there. That didn't look good. But anyway, I'll let you speak on that.
Yeah, I think that's overstated, bro. That's emotions of football. We can't go there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're losing to Vanderbilt. You about gonna lose your ish. Like, he's a 5th-year senior. He's a national champion. And I think we're making something out of nothing. We saw somebody pushing out raw emotions and their frustration about how they played that day. Did he go overboard? Maybe. But is it a detriment to his character? Hell no. Like, he's on the football field. All of them are head cases. Am I pissed off at the referee and I kicked the football? Listen, I can go countless moments. Let's go back to the national championship game where AJ McCarron and the kid, the center, got into it and he pushed him at the end of the game. The game was won and we got into it. And people threw that overboard. I just think it's being well overstated because it's easy to pull out shortcomings when you lose, right? Like, it's easy to point out, oh, look how Malachi Moore acted when they got ready to lose to Vanderbilt. That's an easy take to have because we're vulnerable because we did lose. But other than that, I will say this about Kalen DeBoer. Let's put him into perspective. He has to understand when you're going into a cupcake game in the SEC, it's not like a cupcake game in the Pac-12 that you play, bro. That's not it. You're not going to go in there and play one of these teams that literally don't deserve to be on the field with you. People can say Vanderbilt don't deserve to be on the field, but did you see what Vanderbilt did to Virginia Tech early this year when Virginia Tech was a ranked team? You saw what they did to them. So you know that is a very good football team. However, they play in the SEC. They can't stack up against the big dogs. You put Vanderbilt in that Pac-12, they damn near going to the Pac-12 championship. Let's keep it 100, right? Because the athletes that they possess on the SEC level outweighs that. And Kalen DeBoer went into that game, in my opinion, not prepared for an SEC football team. He went in there prepared for Vanderbilt and forgot that this is SEC football each and every Saturday. Dog, we had more fans in the stands than Vanderbilt did. Vanderbilt rushed the field and couldn't fill the whole damn 100 yards up with fans.
They didn't know how to rush the field. They didn't know how to get down out the stands. I agree with you. They were not expecting. They didn't practice for that. They didn't take a test for that, so they didn't know. They didn't know how to do it. But Bama, I don't fault just Bama. Look what happened to Tennessee going into Arkansas. I said all around the SEC, big homie. That was one I mentioned to you on the show too. I mean, on our call. I said Tennessee gonna have a tough one going down to Arkansas. I like that game, and I had both of these for fruit cups, and I did. So I'm good with that. But all I'm saying, D. Will, and we ain't gonna speak on that Malachi no more. But I agree. We're on the same page with that. You have to understand SEC football when you're a dominant program like that. You got to win these small games. You got to get your kids to understand you got to play. And under Nick Saban, they knew he always made them check their ego, and they came out and played. And I just think in this respect, like you said, it was Vandy. They had already chalked this one up. It was in the W column, and before they knew it, they went up in a tough fight. So they sleptwalked the whole first half. They came out and tried to get back in and basically tried it, but Poppy made some plays. He made some plays down the stretch, and they ended up winning. Turnover Jalen Milroe had on the strip sack. Those things came back. You couldn't overcome. If they played Vandy again this week, they may beat them by 40.
True. Facts. True facts. That's why South Carolina in trouble this weekend.
Oh,
but I will say this.
Bet the house.
We got to put some. I got to take a little bit of onus off of Kalen DeBoer, because understand him as the head coach, he's the overseer. He's also an offensive guy, right? We got to put some of this doggone blame on Kane Womack, the defense coordinator for the University of Alabama. Nick Saban is no longer running that defense. So now our defensive coordinator, who used to be obsolete, is now a huge part of what we do at Alabama. And he dropped the ball, bro. They ran up and down on the field on us like it was a water faucet that couldn't be turned off.
Yep.
Running the football, like they out-physicaled us at the point of attack. They beat us in the trenches. And when you get beat in the trenches, that opens up everything else. Poppy, you're just throwing it downfield on the fourth down, who catches it, and that's a touchdown. That's going to happen when you're losing the battle in the trenches. And Kane Womack, as a defensive coordinator, should never, ever, 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 40-plus years, lose in the trenches to Vanderbilt.
To your point, D. Will, let me sum it up this way, and I know you probably know the stats. In the Nick Saban era, as he played Vanderbilt, I think like 4 or 5 times, Vanderbilt only scored 14 points.
Combined.
In one game, they put up 40.
40!
40. 40.
I mean, that
Bro,
is.
Georgia couldn't score on us. But I'm going to tell you something else, and I put this on Facebook during the game. Kalen DeBoer shot all his bullets in the first half of the Georgia game. We played 6 bad quarters of football in a row. That second half was very bad against Georgia, and it rolled over into the Vanderbilt game. He has played, if you be honest, and before the Georgia game, I was skeptical about the game because I said we had yet to see Alabama play a complete game. I said Ford looked uncomfortable in the pocket. The first half against Georgia, he looked like the #1 pick in the NFL draft and the Heisman Trophy winner. The last 6 quarters, he looked like the player that was looking like in the first 4 games, right? So it's an issue there that I think we're not addressing because the last 6 quarters haven't been very good.
Yeah. And like you said, the big play element has hidden a lot of deficiency because of what he does with Ryan Williams. Those big bombs and, that game-winning touchdown he had in, 2 of the games now, right? Well, at least the one against Georgia for sure. And almost had a game-changing one in this past week was a big one. So if you look at those are like 60, 70-yard passing plays, 40, 50-yard, those are, they just don't really happen like they're happening so frequently now. I don't think that's the way you can rely on a way to win. It has to be some balance. So we'll see, what
balance
happens.
cannot come from Jalen Milroe being your leading rusher. That's not balance.
No, it's not.
Yep. And how far did his Heisman stock drop after this game?
Well, we got so many big games left. He can get it back. He has plenty of moments to have a Heisman moment.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama can get it back as well, but you know how this goes. I mean, it's like the stock market.
Right, but like and that's what you said. Stock market. You're right.
Yep. But like I say, it's nobody else out there like setting the world on fire, so it's going to be easy for him to get back in.
Right.
Well, one person setting on fire, but he don't play at a big enough school, and that's the kid that Boyd said. Yeah, but everything. He's unreal right now. But still, like you said, he playing middle school but football. It's like watching middle school.
I was gonna say JB. You said middle school.
Well, I call it like I see it, D. Will. I call it like I see it.
Facts.
Facts.
All right, man. That's gonna be enough Alabama talk. So we ain't gonna beat you.
Put your fruit cups on Bama this week, though. Yeah, go ahead, take out a loan, whatever you got to do. Go ahead and take out that loan.
It's going down.
It's going down this week.
Hancock, and it's homecoming.
Yeah, and they gonna come home a lot too. They coming home a lot. I hope the band gets some rest because you gonna hear that. You gonna hear a lot of band playing. Yeah, no doubt about it.
While I go finish my coffee, I want y'all to talk about the firing of coach. The New York Jets fired a coach, Robert Saleh. Should it have been him or should it have been Nathaniel Hackett?
Ooh, I don't see how you can blame.
Or is it Aaron Rodgers? I mean,
you brought Aaron Rodgers in to win a Super Bowl. You said you had everything in place, and this offense is not looking any better than it did with the sorry quarterbacks they had, in the previous years. I think when they put the poll up there or showed the stats, the offense from the previous years pretty much doing the same thing as this one did. Your defense is playing well. Look, if you watch and see, they're playing well. Defense is out there balling. But if you're not scoring enough points, and then, Aaron Rodgers is so much baggage with him, man. You got to put up with the Trump stuff. You got to put up with him going on retreats. You got to not have OTAs. You don't want to be part of that. It's just too much that came along with that. And sometimes when you sell your soul to the devil, this is what it is. It just is what it is. And they sold their soul to Aaron Rodgers. They put everything in that basket. And last year he got hurt. This year he's a year older and he looks it. He looks old. The arm is still there. So you see flashes. But that desire and fire and all that, you just don't see it. He looks like an old man. He looks 40. He does not resemble 12 in Green Bay. And it's a good thing. Maybe he need to change his number back in something. I don't know. But right now, the way he's playing and what he was brought there for, it's not working. You can even see it in the wide receiver.
Garrett Wilson.
What's his name?
Garrett Wilson.
Wilson was balling, making plays everywhere. Now it's like Rodgers is coming there, and now he's throwing to his Green Bay receiver. He's throwing to the guy that he brought with him. And you're looking at, and you look at it, you're like, Garrett Wilson is your star. He's your guy. You force the ball to him, find ways for Hackett to get him involved. And I just think, man, this is coming unglued. Where you can see it when you fire your head coach 5 games into the year, and this should have been a Super Bowl contender. Yeah, it's bad right now. And whether he's as I saw in here, a coach killer, now I think that's in the next segment. I don't know if he's that, but he sure ain't a vitamin for him. He ain't helping him stay healthy. I know that.
Right.
He ain't helping him coach stay healthy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Aaron Rodgers, I think, deserves much of this blame. However, let's not act like we didn't know that Robert Saleh was on the hot seat coming into this season. Exactly. We knew one inkling of malfunction, which we're seeing from the Jets. He was going to be out, and it only took 5 games. Now, I think he deserved to be fired. I never liked saying someone deserves to lose their job because they work hard at it. Let's not act like Robert Saleh didn't put the work in. I'm sure he put the work in, right? It just didn't work out for him. So I think it's a change needed to happen. And I know Nathaniel Hackett is going to get a lot of flack because that's Aaron Rodgers' guy. He has the job because of Aaron Rodgers, right? Exactly. So he deserves the criticism to that point. But I don't think, and I know you said he should be forcing it to Garrett Wilson, but just 2 weeks ago, Garrett Wilson had 22 targets in one game.
He keep throwing it to him.
Huh?
I said keep throwing it to him. Throw it 23 times.
Exactly. So I think it's a disconnect between him and Aaron Rodgers due to a lot of the reasons you said. No OTAs. I'm not showing up for this. I'm going on retreat instead of coming to training camp, right? Those type of things when you're building continuity with your receivers. He was coming off an Achilles injury, so he didn't have much of an off-season preparation. So it wasn't like he could go to Hawaii or to some tropical area and bring his receivers with him, and they go through, some running routes and building their continuity together. So with them not having that aspect of it to go through, you see it. I don't give a damn how good you are. If you don't have chemistry with your offensive line, with your wide receiver, with your backs, it's going to look the way the Jets look. And the Jets deserve to be losing. Aaron Rodgers is a year older. But not only is he a year older, he's a year older coming off a catastrophic injury.
Exactly.
A lower leg. Like you say, the arm is still alive. The legs are dead. He is on noodle legs. He can't escape the rush. He can't step up in the pocket. He can't get outside the tackles. He can't do the things that Aaron Rodgers has been known for, because his mobility is one thing that set him apart throughout his career. And now that his mobility is gone, and now he's trying to rely on a subpar offensive line, even though he has 2 studs at running back, they're not getting them the football in a way that they can be effective. So a lot of it is falling on the shoulders of Aaron Rodgers. And at 40 years old, it's like LeBron James. Aaron Rodgers should be on minutes restriction. He should be on restriction on how many passes he throws, how many times he's up under center. If you notice, Aaron Rodgers has been spending a lot of time in shotgun this season. Aaron Rodgers has been somebody who operates from up under the center his whole career, but he can't get those 5 and 7 step drops from up under the center quick enough to get the ball out of his hands. So they're having to adjust their offense, and with them having to adjust their offense, they're struggling due to the lack of all-season preparation that they had.
And you mentioned, like you said, the mobility. A lot of those plays that he runs are stretched, where he stretches on the ball fakes, where he, that fake or that handoff is outside the tackle. It's a moving stretch for him. He handed one off in the game with his right hand because he couldn't make the turn and hand it off correctly. I saw that. And the other thing that you mentioned, Nathaniel Hackett, I heard through the grapevine that Saleh was about to make a change with the offense and the offense coordinator. And it came down that the change happened him out of there before he could do that. Because the reason I don't fault Saleh so much, what is Robert Saleh? He's a defensive coach. His defense was working. It wasn't on him. Look, the offense was not doing what they were supposed to do. Robert Saleh's defense was keeping them in ball games and playing decent, playing well. So I that's why I just feel like, in a sense, he got kind of a raw deal on this because if it would be different if I was an offensive minded head coach and my team wasn't scoring points. Then I would think, well, we look at him a little different. But the side of the ball that he is really there for was working, and you got rid of him. But you kept this guy who you brought in to change the offense and put up points. That's where it's not working.
And
so you fired Robert Saleh and you elevated the defensive coordinator. What? I'm lost. It don't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me.
And the Jets are last in the NFL in rushing, with Breece Hall being the type of
and the other kid, he runs harder than Breece Hall. Have y'all seen him run? That kid from Wisconsin is a beast.
Stud running back.
Studs. Man.
So which leads me to my next question. Is Aaron Rodgers a coach killer?
As I said, when you were getting off, I don't know if he's a coach killer, but he sure ain't helping them live.
Right.
He ain't no damn nurse, that's for sure.
Yeah, boy.
Listen, he got Mike McCarthy fried, right?
Yeah.
Now he got Robert Saleh fried. So at some point, when are we gonna lay this onus at the feet of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
The de facto one of the greatest to ever do it, who is damn lucky, y'all. And I know y'all gonna feel this when I say it. He's damn lucky he ain't Dan Marino. He better be glad he got one.
He got one.
Right? And that is the saving grace of Aaron Rodgers. Because they can go back and say he got one.
That's true.
Yeah,
definitely true.
Definitely agree with that. Yeah, he got McCarthy, got the boot, and Robert Saleh. You would think that they would I think he got a raw deal. I was shocked and surprised. How do you get fired first and Peterson still got a job in Jacksonville?
That's a good point. He's an offensive dude. True.
Well, you know why though. You know the answer to that question. It's the Jacksonville media and the New York media. That's the only difference.
That's a good point. Definitely a good point.
I agree with that too. As much as these media folks talk about the Jets, they the one who put the target on Robert Saleh. So the media got him fired, to be honest.
Hey, Squirrel, real quick. I'm not a fan of Kimberly A. Martin, y'all.
Oh, I can't. Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I call Squirrel, so I'm allowed. I'm just not a fan, bro. Like, her condescending tone, she really ain't bringing much to the table outside of reporting. But when she gets into her analyst, what the hell are you analyzing? You ain't never been in a locker room. You ain't never put on a shoulder pads. You ain't never been in a meeting. Only thing you've done is been in the locker room with the little pad after the game, taking notes on what somebody say and regurgitating quotes. But they got to stop this, man. I understand I'm all for equality and I'm all for Black women empowerment. But this got to stop, bro. Like, y'all got to stop trying to feed us ish and tell us it's steak. Stop it.
You ain't got no argument for me. I can't stand listening to her either, D-Will. She rubs me the wrong way big time. I can't stand listening
She's
to
so
her.
condescending. Like what you're saying is so far off and what she's saying is so spot on. And I'm not trying to be sexist. Please understand I'm not. But stick to sideline reporting. Stick to reporting. Leave the analysts to the ones who have done it. I'm not saying to the ones who've done it on the highest level. You don't have to do it, but at least you have done it. Like Big H.O., Hancock, y'all done put on shoulder pads, helmets, and cleats and played in the game with referees and then got hit.
Yeah.
You got a reason to be talking about it because you've done it. I'm not saying don't report on it. I'm saying don't break it down like they be trying to get her to do on Get Up and on First Take. This just driving me insane. And I just want to tell them, please, for the sake of a fan, stop it.
And we haven't even got the ballers and busters yet. But boy, that sounds like a boy stop though. Or
Yeah.
a hand that doesn't sound like a sucker.
Oh.
Hey, Dez may hit this one out. Dez may hit a home run with that one.
Oh wow. Discount double check.
Yes, sir.
And y'all know why he stopped discount double checking though. His family that he disowned was trying to get that check.
Yeah.
Ooh, did I go too far? Sorry.
Hey, here's what it is. It ain't too far if you're speaking the truth.
It's the public record.
Yeah, I agree. All right, NFL rookie quarterbacks. Bo Nix, 3-game winning streak, and boy, what can we say about Jaden Daniels? Caleb Williams finally had a good game, and I think me and Han, we talked about how he was going to, DJ Moore was going to probably torch Carolina former team, and hey, rookie quarterbacks. Han, in your opinion, how are they doing?
Well, we don't even need to even speak on Jaden Daniels. He is the start he's had is historic. It's not just good, it's historic. At one point,
Lincoln Riley.
Say it again.
Is it Jaden Daniels or is it Lincoln Riley?
Well, it's a little not. You don't mean Lincoln Riley. You mean other dude.
Whatever.
Clint Kingsbury.
Yeah,
Kingsbury.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, it's a perfect marriage. The things that he's good at and can do. This is why Cliff Kingsbury is a great offensive mind, great offensive coordinator. He might not be the greatest head coach, but he understands offense, and he's preparing this kid. This kid knows where to go with the football on almost every play. And it's what I'm seeing is almost a point of. You remember when Mike Vick came into the league and his speed just overwhelmed defenses, and it took them years to figure out.
They just
we got to play a certain way.
We're not gonna rush. We just stay in the running lane.
If you get out of your lane on this dude, he's 15, 20 yards down the field. He's outrunning he's running to the edge faster than they can get there. So instead of you maybe being in second and 9 or maybe losing the yard, second and 10, you in second and 3 because he'll get around the corner, whatever, get 7-8 yards getting out of bounds. He's learned to protect himself, or he's going to get a first down, or he's going to make a bigger run. So what happens when you do that is you keep a defense on the field, and when you can constantly get first downs and keep the chains moving, big guys get tired quicker than smaller guys. It's just a fact. And he is just adding a dimension to them. They have a good running attack. They need one more wide receiver. They got a great one in Terry McLaurin. They get another receiver to balance that side.
They make a run out of Adams.
Yeah, if they get another receiver to balance that side with the running game they got with your boy from Bama, Brian
Robinson.
Yeah, him. And they got Rob. They got Eckler. They got a nice nucleus. They got tight end and Ertz who understands how to get open in the middle of the field, and he gets in the ball. But getting back to the rookie quarterback, I got sidetracked. Yeah, he's head and shoulders the best. Caleb Williams had been taking a lot of heat, and a lot of people were getting off of him. Some people were coming out even saying that Chicago made the wrong choice, that they had buyer's remorse. These were on the major shows that we see where they were questioning this and saying this. And he had a great, great game. I think week before last, they got him to where he was throwing shorter passes, getting the ball out of his hand. You get him comfortable. Last week, they opened it up a little bit more. I thought the first part of the year, they tried to put too much on his plate. It was like, well, you Heisman Trophy, you once in a generation, we're gonna throw the whole book at you. And I think they've learned from that to say, okay, we're gonna use your talents, but we're gonna let you grow, and you can see the growth coming on. So he's going now. Knicks won a game pass for 60 yards in the week before last. Come on, man, 60 yards, and they won. So and they played the Jets. So that lets you know again that this Robert Saleh needs to kick somebody in the butt. He gave up 10, 13 points and lost the game to Knicks, who only got 60 yards pass.
Mhm.
So what? Your defense played well. Now, last week I saw Knicks make some plays. He's that athletic quarterback who flamed out in the SEC, but you know he's got a chance to be at least a decent pro quarterback. I'm still not sold on him. I haven't seen enough. I just think he's the vanilla flavor of the month. So we'll see.
Now, I was being tongue in cheek when I brought this subject up about the rookie quarterbacks, because the one rookie quarterback that we ain't talking about, we're not gonna be talking about for the next couple of years.
He play in Atlanta.
He plays in Atlanta.
Well, he sits in Atlanta.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Well, makes sense. But I'll say this. Jaden Daniels is not only the best rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels is the MVP of the NFL right now.
Right now.
Not the rookie of the year. He is the MVP of the NFL. He is looking like the best player in the league. The way he has command of his offense, not only command of his offense, the way he has command of his troops. You can tell that team follows his lead as a rookie. And that is just off sheer personality. If you watch him in interviews, he's extremely eloquent, and you could tell that's a cool dude, right? And people are willing to run through the wall for people who they think are cool dudes. And they can ball, right? Why do you think Lamar Jackson is loved in Baltimore? He's a cool dude, and he balls out. I'm going to go back to the college game. Cam Ward at Miami. Why do you think his team is following him after all the adversity he went through, going to an FCS school, then going to the weak Pac-12, now making it to the SEC and ACC in Miami? To have that team in this short amount of time that he's been there gravitate to him means he's a cool dude. And that's what Jaden Daniels is, man. And his team is following him, and they support him, and the coaching staff is giving him all the tools he needs in order to be good. Now, Caleb Williams, let's be honest, bro, he went the number one for a reason, because the Bears suck. Like, we were expecting Caleb Williams to come in and be a freaking Jesus. Like, he's supposed to resurrect. If what's the boy in Pittsburgh name? Justin Fields couldn't do it, but he goes to Pittsburgh and they 4-1. What does that tell you about Chicago? What are we really expecting from a rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams? For him to play the way he played last week shows his talent, but his team is not talented. Let's just keep it 100. So I'm not Bo Nix. We know. Come on, man. Stop it. Like it's Bo Nix, bro. Like, he is, like Hancock said, man, he the vanilla flavor of the month. And I think he's going to be a formidable NFL quarterback holding the clipboard one day. But I will say this. He reminds me of who? Another Denver quarterback that was the flavor of the month that went on to win a playoff game at one point. One Tim Tebow. Come on. He's reminding you of the same thing, right? So I'm not down on Bo Nix. And the reason I'm not down on him because I was never up on him, right? So it's hard to go down when you were never up. So I wasn't expecting much. What he's doing, I commend him, and I'm going to give a lot of that credit to Sean Payton, right? Give a lot of that credit to Sean Payton for being able to take somebody who has those limited skills as a rookie and still put him in a position where your team can win games. You got to give that credit to him. Now, I'm really anxious to see what we're going to see from Drake May this week. Now that New England has named him the starting quarterback after Jacoby Brissett fizzled out, one of the worst quarterbacks in the whole league this year. Now that we're going to see Drake May, we're going to see another rookie quarterback take the realm and see what he can do. Now, I think Drake May is Mitchell Trubisky. That's just my opinion. I think he's another Mitchell Trubisky. But we finna see, because Gerard Mayo over in his first year as head coach with New England, he has to do something because Jacoby Brissett just wasn't getting it done. And I'm sure this change didn't come from him. I'm sure this change came from upstairs because of what we're talking about. We've seen the success of Jaden Daniels. We've seen the mild success of Caleb Williams. We're seeing the mild success of Bo Nix. Drake May was drafted ahead of some of those guys. He only went behind Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. He went number 3. Now their front office, Robert Kraft, are like, hey, bro, we drafted this guy and look at what these other guys are doing. Caleb Williams not playing well, but he's getting his lumps. He's getting his reps. He's getting game time. Let's do this with our guy. And I think that's the reason that Drake May will be starting. I don't think Gerard Mayo honestly wants to start Drake May right now.
Right. Can I go back real quick, fellas?
Go ahead.
Tell you how bad it is in New York. That Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in the city of New York right now. That's how bad.
Pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
Hey, but hey, listen, your boy ain't been playing horrible though.
No, we just speaking on historically.
Yeah, historically he's been bad, but this year, I think he still sucks. Don't get me wrong. I think he still sucks. But I will say this: I think we gotta give the head coach some credit in New York.
Stuck with him.
I give him some credit. I also give him credit for recognizing talent and going and get the best rookie wide receiver to come out this year.
And listen, Malik Neighbors is on my fantasy team, and he didn't even play this week, and they won.
Yeah, they did. But so, that dude, he different.
We got to give Daniel Jones some props.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he getting a lot of props, and I had New York actually covering that spread in Seattle. I figured
that's a good call. I went the opposite way. That was a good call. I wish you'd have talked me into that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I it's a whole lot. We're gonna talk tonight later on, but
I just didn't feel that New York was gonna go into Seattle. I guess I was looking at the way they played and were able to move the ball against Detroit. I thought Seattle would be able to handle New York, especially without Neighbors. But that lets you know about the NFL, man. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. You need to go the other way.
That's the one thing that my man was talking about is, this is one of the keys. We bet the game, but we don't bet against Vegas, and that's what we have to start doing. Bet against the dealer. Bet against the people that are playing. How do you think they're trying to make money? Is what we have to take into consideration.
Oh, no doubt.
So you mean to tell me that the whole, because you remember, and another thing is, if Vegas take a hit 1 week, they're not gonna take a hit 2 weeks in a row. So
what you saying, Big H.O. is fixed?
No, it's heavily influenced. It is heavily influenced. I mean, I just told you about the line. I didn't know if you knew that about Alabama was a 33-point favorite before the season. And then you get to the game, and now it's 24.
It's 24 after beating Georgia, which you would think would go up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay. Yeah. And you didn't think, why wouldn't the point spread against Georgia and Auburn bigger than that after they lost to Alabama, knowing that they lost the number 1 spot? You would figure at least 30 points would have been the point spread for that one.
Yeah, that's the one I thought was going to get ugly. I honestly thought Vandy was going to hang in there and get covered at 24. Were they going to beat Alabama? Nah, I didn't think they had a snowball chance in hell of that. But I did think they were covered at 24. That's why I took that. But yeah, when you're talking about that Georgia game, I thought Georgia would come out very angry, want to do whatever they had to do to get that. They had blood in their mouth, and I thought they would beat them by 30 or 40.
I did too.
That's just really, when you look at what Kirby is, he's just not that type of. he doesn't. They play too close to the vest. They don't open it up. And if they blow somebody out, it's because they're just ripping off big runs and things of that nature. They're not just rocket fuel wide open down the field. They don't do that. So we always have to take that into consideration. Not that they're not a good offense. They don't have quality players, but they just don't seem to know how to put their foot on the gas like that.
Well, Hancock, they lack the outside weapons.
Yeah,
right.
And they lack offensive imagination too. They don't have a Lane Kiffin. They don't have that. That's what Nick did. He went in and said, "Okay, I got to score points in college football now. Let me go out and get an offensive mind." And I don't think Kirby's done that yet. He hadn't gone to get
a Bobo.
Yeah, Mike Bobo.
Yeah,
he's so old.
They're still playing like you can open up a little bit, but don't put my defense in any kind of jeopardy. And it seems like that's the way they think about playing offense.
That's how Kirby coaches.
Can he put some defense around the damn players that go out and get arrested? Hey, let's be real. I don't know what it is about these Athens. I can't even remember the county name, but Clark County. Yeah. Yeah. That how does a Georgia player keep getting arrested when they the biggest thing in the city?
Ain't nothing there but them.
That's it.
How you get in all this trouble?
Well, yeah. And he got arrested for battery. So I can't cover you for that one.
Yeah, they could charge with abuse to an unborn child or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Crazy. He just went nuts. So
yeah, that
was him above the rims. He just went nuts. So
man, it's better to just leave the house, man. I'm telling you, don't touch her, don't push her off you, nothing. Just leave. It's the best thing to do. Get the hell out of there.
Hey, here's my thing, bro. Take her ass whooping. If she whoop your ass, let her whoop your ass.
Yeah.
You a football player, you get hit every day. Yeah. You telling me this 125-pound chick and then hit you that made you that mad? Like, run. You run a full ball. Run.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, I'm making light of it, but I'm being serious. Get out of there, dog.
It ain't worth it.
Nope.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Get out.
All right, man. It's time for Baller, Busters, and Bus Stop. I hadn't changed the name yet, Han, but I think I am. We're gonna add suckers in there somewhere.
I heard that.
Yeah, Baller, Busters, and Bus Stop. All right, here we go. All right, everybody in the chat, go ahead and put your Baller, Busters, and Bus Stop in the chat, and we go roll. My baller this week goes out to their whole Atlanta Falcons team. For the comeback win on Thursday night, you had the whole city late for work Friday morning. Yes, the comeback win was good. We still can't get to the quarterback, but we still last in the quarterbacks. But why don't we just run the 2-minute offense as our offense? It seems like that's where Captain Kirk is better. So shout out to the Falcons for taking the city and making it happen. I said on the show on Saturday that the Braves lost on purpose so the Falcons had the city to themselves and do what they needed to do on Thursday night, and they did it.
I heard that.
So my ball is to the Atlanta Falcons for doing what they need to do. You're at first place right now, and I would have never thought that.
No.
Yeah.
And you pulled the rabbit out of the hat on at least 2 of these wins. You got a blessing with what happened with Saquon Barkley, and this is no knock on what the Falcons have done because they capitalized on the mistakes that the teams have made. And Philly had the game won. If Saquon catches that ball, the game's over. A couple other things that have happened that we've seen in New Orleans through a muff punt and a pick six to give you 14 points in that game. This game, I thought was over, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but some kind of way they let the Falcons get that win. But again, when preparation meets luck or opportunity, and you make the plays, you have to tip your hat and say you did the job well done. So kudos. The Falcons, to me, I thought they would probably be 1-4 at this point. Honestly, that's what I saw them as coming into the year. But Darnell Paul Mooney has played very well. He's been a big surprise for them. Him getting to the team, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But he's been, to me, the most effective weapon for the Falcons. Drake London has been good, don't get me wrong, but the plays that Mooney's made, it's his name Mooney, correct? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah.
The plays he's making big time plays, big moments. So I got to give him credit. But yeah, shout out Falcons, 4-1.
3-2.
3-2, my bad. 3-2.
Man, I know you wanted to give us that victory, but no, it's 3.
Yeah, there you
Still
go.
beat Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
they beat Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and they got Carolina coming up. Let's not Kalen DeBoer this game.
Exactly.
All right, Han, what you got for your baller?
D. Will, don't get mad at him, but I got to give it to Dino Pavia, man. Leading Vandy to a win over the number 1 team in the nation. He was 16 of 20 for 252 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the key, no interceptions. And he also ran the ball 20 times for 56 yards, which don't sound like much, but when you move the chains with your runs, when you come up and keep drives alive, that's big. So Dino Pavia, he gets my baller this week.
Yep.
Can't even be mad at you.
Diego Pavia. I call him Dino. Diego. Sorry about that.
I can't even be mad. Can't even be mad. I got a twofold. One is going to be quick. I just want to give a shout out to the New York Liberty for knocking out the Las Vegas Aces and making it to the WNBA championship. As good as Asia Wilson was this year, who deserved to be the unanimous MVP, Breanna Stewart has been balling all year long, bro. I mean, she has been getting it done. And let's give props to Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina Ionescu was Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. Right?
Exactly.
But she has her own signature shoe with Nike. Nobody batted an eye when she got hers, but Caitlin Clark is being polarized for some odd reason when she's not even Sabrina Ionescu, but I digress. But I want to give a shout out to the New York Liberty for making it to the WNBA championship. But I got to give my baller this week to one Jalen Curtis Tolbert of the Dallas Cowboys, right? Let's be honest, bro. I know I told y'all earlier the reason I picked him because he came through for me in fantasy, but he had a very, very, very good game this past Saturday. And also, I'm gonna be honest, he's a Bama guy. He's from Mobile, Alabama. He went to South Alabama, so he's one of the hometown boys. So I got to give him props on that level, stepping up in that moment and playing big, man. He had 7 catches for 87 yards in that last ending game-winning touchdown. So and that was an extremely exciting game. Like that game went down to the wire. It was worth the watch. So I got to give my ball of the week to Jalen Tolbert of the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll take that. I received that.
I know you do. I know you do.
All right, Dad say his baller is Kirk Cousins, and he's actually the player of the week. 509 yards passed. Somebody had him in fantasy. They went Bucko. So, all right, time for the Busters. Busters this week. This is a minor buster, but I'm going with Anthony Towns for putting Kyle Anderson on his Mount Rushmore of New Jersey basketball.
How? Slow-mo didn't lose a game in high school.
Yeah, I know.
Slow-mo was listen, I covered Slow-mo in high school. Bro, he was a dog.
Yeah, and he said How can you be that much of a dog with the slowest crossover ever in life?
But you can't stop it.
Exactly. That's what he said. And I'm like,
He like, hey, he like chopped and screwed.
Yeah. Hey, listen, slow-mo whole game is a bottle of activist. It's that walk hard. And if y'all don't know what that is, that's that lean. That's that lean, man. Listen, I saw slow-mo the first time when he was 15 years old.
yeah, I
And
seen him at Peace Jam.
I thought he was exceptional. It wasn't pretty, it was slow, but you saw his skill set. Bro, he was just unstoppable in high school, right? So I'm not and I'm glad you said it's a little buster because there's so many greats that came out of New Jersey and out of that area, right?
Oh,
And
Harrison, I mean, I don't know about that.
well, I was like, he didn't put himself on there. So without putting himself on there, I understand why he went Kyle Anderson. Because like I say, bro, he didn't lose a game his whole high school career.
That's big. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that is big. And on another note, did y'all see the documentary on how Tracy McGrady went from the worst player at the camp to the best player within 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that.
Hey, he had number 175 because he's the last one to get to the camp. And Lamar Odom was the number one player. Nobody wanted to guard him. Tracy McGrady stood up and said, I guard him. Put the clamps on him, and the last game of the tournament, he went ham. And from then on, he went into the camp with maybe one offer. He came out of the camp, he had 15 to 20 offers off the rip and never made it to a college camp.
Yeah, because hell, he left high school after that camp and went prep school.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was pretty interesting when I saw that as well. All right, but that's my bust. All right, Han, what you got for yours?
All right, y'all work with me. My bust is the NFL, man.
Mm.
For an entity or a league to come out and talk about player safety and all this kind of stuff, but turn their head when a player like Josh Allen gets knocked out on the field.
Ooh.
If you saw him hit his head and bounce the way he did, he was out.
He was asleep.
He was asleep. They got him up, took him in the tent, and they had a turnover happen, and they let that guy come back on the field to play. And the first thing they're supposed to do is take the helmet and say, nah, man, we saw that. We've seen all throughout this year where you see them with this grandstand and blow the whistle, and the referee walk over to a guy and say, yeah, you were spotted, being a little Drew, so we're going to get you out. Look, man, they stopped the game because this dude was asleep to get him off the field. And then 2 plays later, he's back in a huddle playing. Mm-hmm. So that's what I be saying about this stuff being fixed and set up or whatever and phony. That's and nobody's calling them out on it. See, I hate when ESPN and all these folks don't call out things like this, but I understand they got contract with them. Monday Night Football and all that kind of stuff. I understand they're in bed with them. But you got to call it out and tell the truth on that, man. You can't, on one hand, talk about being safety conscious and talk about Tua shouldn't play and have all this debate and all that. And then you turn around, the guy is knocked out in your face. And then you go back on the field and nothing else to see. Oh, nothing to see here. You look the other way and don't even say nothing about it. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So they get my bust, man.
Hey, you can't put out the GWH, man. You can't pull out the GWH. Can't do it.
I guess you're right.
All right. Y'all ready for this?
Let's get it.
Y'all know who it is. Drum roll, please. My bust of the week is the Alabama Crimson Tide. So listen to damn Vandy. Need I say more? I love my school. I love my team. But y'all is busters. Like y'all deserve to play. Y'all should have practiced all week in uniforms that are 10 years old. You should have had to go into the locker room that Bear Bryant built. You should have to stay in the dorms that they used to stay in the 60s. You should not have one privilege on that campus for losing a damn Vanderbilt.
Mm.
We don't lose a damn Vanderbilt. Go ahead, man. I'm finna get mad.
Yeah.
I told Big Homie in the chat, we might need to do a wellness check on you because I knew you was upset. I said, boy, I know he is feeling this one, boy. That had to be tough. That had to be tough. Vandy.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Yeah. Bama's the buster.
Yeah. And I purposely didn't check your call because I figured you were trying to blow off some steam.
Y'all know where I was at, man. Y'all know what I was partaking in. I got deep into it.
I said,
I know you did. Him
and Reggie probably.
Me and Reggie Miller had to talk all night long.
All night long.
Listen, it got so bad I had to upgrade to Gary Payton.
Woo!
Reggie wasn't doing it for me. I needed some lockdown defense because we wasn't playing none against Vandy. So I went to Gary Payton.
Yeah, we ain't talking about the Reggie in the 48 hours either.
Come on now. Talk to him, Big H.O.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, here we go with the boy stop or the sucker. Either one you want to call it. Hancock call it sucker, but in my estimation, this is a boy stop and a sucker all in one. And as I stated before the show started, it's Mr. Chime time. You cannot come to my city with all these millions of views that you get and have and just rip my city apart because you go to the restaurants that are not known for good food on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Hey, who is this dude? I'm not familiar with Chime Time.
Dude, I bet he pop up on my timeline all the time, man. He go to different restaurants.
Yeah, he go
ham. He go ham on everybody.
He went off on A&R Barbecue in Memphis.
Did he?
Oh man, he said it was trash. I was like, hey, I ain't gonna eat that. I ain't gonna eat talk.
No, see, I ain't seen him do that. I'd had to chime in on him myself.
Yeah,
I'd had to talk to him.
Go to his page and look. He went to A&R in Memphis.
Okay.
I wanted to see this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in on him.
Yeah.
Hey man, we don't watch few food reviews lesson from Keith Lee. Hey, we gonna rate it 1 through 10. I got it. Let's try it and rate it 1 through 10. Hey, but y'all got another dude in Georgia, Film Me TV, that do food reviews. He do the Keith Lee parody. He be like, in my life. If y'all ain't up on him, go watch him. He's based in Atlanta. Bro, it's hilarious, dog. Like, but he don't really do real food reviews. He might go to Taco Bell or something.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. This dude, I'm talking about Mr. Chime Time. He went to Bojangles, tried their new wing. He gave them a good review.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, if you ain't been to if you in Atlanta and go to the Big Easy, then you don't need to go nowhere else. I'm sorry. And I done told him time after time, go to the Big Easy. You ain't got to worry about that. I even volunteered to drive you around to take you to places that I know are gonna be all right. But he went to somebody named Angie's Breakfast Bar. I don't even know where that at.
Yeah, he was in Marietta somewhere.
He went out somewhere in Kennesaw and went to some pizza spot.
That ain't in Atlanta.
I saw him. He dogged out. This is it. I know. I heard it. I saw that one.
Yeah. He did. This is it. Yeah. I mean, don't nobody listen, man. After it's some of these places that we don't even eat at. So let's keep it real. But anyway, that's my boy stop and suckers at the same time. So, all right, Han, what you got?
Big homie, I'm going. If he dogging out A&R, he my buster. He my sucker. So sucker the time.
Yeah, he went ham on A&R, bro.
He ain't talking about my boy. Not my partner spot.
When I
He'll
find
suck.
it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, well, time on these.
Damn. Time on these.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, Weezy, what you got? You go jump in the car with us at Mr. Chime Time?
Oh yeah, damn chime time. But I got somebody in the trunk with us. The Alabama Crimson Tide. Boy, stop. How the hell you lose the Vandy?
Dan said he went to Safeland, Georgia to do a food review.
Hey.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, boy, stop. You lose the Vandy?
Bang.
Bro, I would have felt better if we would have lost to Mercer later in the year. I'm cool with that. Nick Saban in his first year lost to Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. You don't lose the Vandy, bro. You don't do that. Listen, I'm going to go real far. Y'all ready? Drum roll, please. Kalen DeBoer deserve to be fired.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Whew.
Yeah, he was hot.
Fired.
That Gary Payton got you going.
You hit a deep one. That was big deal. That's
I'm
deep.
not playing. He deserves to be let go. Did you see what Nick Saban said before the game? That they played on the big screen after the game?
What'd he say?
He said the only place that's not hard to play in the SEC is Vandy. Nick Saban said that in at game day prior to the game. After they beat us, they put Nick Saban on the big screen saying that comment. The boy deserves to be fired.
Wow.
Woo, boy, stop.
Yeah, that's a boy stop for sure. Yes,
yeah, it's big there.
Yeah, well, we're gonna run through this roundtable discussion. D, you hanging in there with us?
Yeah, I got to roll. I'm a little late to a little something, but I had to get that out.
Oh, I feel you. We got an interview coming up about 8:40. Breast cancer awareness. So, yeah,
awesome.
We in the community tonight.
Love it.
Yeah, before you get up out of here, I was on your live the other night and I heard you say y'all got some stuff going on. Y'all finna get it going. You finna get a basketball league. You got some other stuff jumping off on the web page coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Like, boy, yes, sir. Boy, that's what I'm talking about. You rocking and rolling.
We got something big that I just solidified today. I just finalized it today. On November 1st, Friday, November 1st, Eyeball Radio will be doing a North Alabama Media Day, meaning we're going to the city of Huntsville. Alabama A&M University has allowed us to come in and set up shop in the gym. We're going to have 10 programs, boys and girls programs from the city and county of Huntsville. And we're going to do a whole media day. We're bringing 2 players and a coach in, doing 10-minute interviews with each program, man. And it's going to bring a lot of eyes and exposure to the North Alabama area. That's not even the area that I'm from. However, we get shown a lot of love with what we do in that area. So we taking it on the road, baby. We're going to do a North Alabama Media Day, and it's going to be sponsored by Bo's Best Wings, the best wings in Huntsville, and it's going to be hosted by Alabama A&M University. So we want to give them a shout out for allowing us to come on campus and do our thing on November 1st.
All right, talk about the Eyeball Radio campus visit as well. You're going to visit each high school and
yeah, man, we're doing our preseason tour. This is kind of divulged from that. I was reaching out to some programs in the Huntsville area. We're doing our Eyeball Radio preseason tour, getting ready for basketball season, which starts up on October 21st. Is the first day of practice. November 7th is the first day you can start playing games here in the state of Alabama. So we've been gearing up and cranking up for that, man. And I made a call to Huntsville, and they were like, hey, man, let's not just do one school. How about we do a whole media day? And I had some people who really support what we got going on, really put some legs on it and helped me out with getting in contact with Alabama A&M. And then Bo's Best Wings said they'll bring the food through for all the players and coaches. So it just turned into something else. But that's just in the Huntsville area. We still doing our tour across the state. So we're going to be in West Alabama, East Alabama, Montgomery, and Mobile. So we still reach out to schools to let that happen, man. We're just trying to bring exposure to the state of Alabama and to the basketball community as much as we can. Because I will say this, Alabama has an issue, and I'll make this real quick. Alabama has an issue with basketball right now. A lot of our top level talent are leaving the state to go play elsewhere, meaning in the class of 2026, our top 4 players have all left the state to go play elsewhere. One, Caleb Hope, who's the number 4 player in the country in the class of 2026, transferred to Grayson. Coben Landrew, who on 3 just dropped their rankings. They have him ranked number 87 in the country. He's the 3rd best player in Georgia. He transferred from Alabama. He's now at Wheeler. And then we had another kid go to Virginia. And now I got rumored that another kid who's now the number 1 player in the state is probably going to Brewster Academy in New Hampshire. We got an issue here in Alabama about our exposure and being able to retain our top talent due to other states offering NIL deals for high school players. And the exposure that they're able to get playing in a better brand of basketball under the shot clock and things of that nature. So we got an issue. So we're trying to do our part to bring more exposure to the state of Alabama, bring more eyes nationally to the state of Alabama, so we can try to retain some of our top level talent and keep our talent here in the state of Alabama. So that's the gist behind it. So, man, we would love for everybody want to support it. Anybody want to get involved and help us out with it, man, hit the DM, eyeballradio.com. If you got my number, please get it from Big H.O. And we'd love for the residents of the SRT show to come support us and help us out with what we got going on.
Yeah, if you got anybody in the Alabama area that's an athlete, let us know, and we'll make sure that they get some love from Eyeball Radio or whatever the case.
No doubt. We'll put them on, baby. That's what we do.
Yeah, let's do it. And I just see another Boy Star Award on TV here as the New York Mets just beat the Phillies and moving on to the National League championship game. And you know, I don't like nothing New York. I don't like the Yankees. I don't like the Jets. I don't like the I only like New York pizza. I don't like nothing New York. Absolutely nothing. So yeah. I mean, that's just where I'm at with it. I can't do. I went to Manhattan one time and I was ready to go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, Big H.O., appreciate you letting me get that off, man. And like I say, ain't no residents out there want to support, man. Hit me up, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. I know y'all in Georgia, but Alabama basketball is here to reckon. Because, like I said, two of our top 4 players moved on to Georgia, and now they're two of Georgia's top 3 players. So that means the best talent coming from Alabama. Georgia got the more of it, but the best coming from Bama, baby.
Yeah. Maybe we need to do an Eyeball Radio Atlanta or something. And
hey, listen, I done got the call, and I spoke with our resident, Bo Bell. We're going to put something together.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
That's it, though. Yeah, definitely that. And then me and Hannah get involved in it. Here, we can.
Oh, you know I'm going to have y'all there. Sit down behind the microphone.
Whatever I can do, man. No doubt.
Hey, but listen, Hancock, I'm going to need you to do a little studying on college basketball now.
I know the game, D. Will. Y'all had to supply the players. We good.
No doubt. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, D. Will,
we're down. Show, man.
Hey, we good for tomorrow because you know them Boozer twins making their decision tomorrow, so we still got the bet on.
Hey, the bet is on. No,
yeah, okay.
What is better, H.O.? What we'll do better tomorrow night during the live? I'm sending you the StreamYard link. Come on the live and we'll talk about it.
All right, there you go. For sure. Absolutely.
There it is.
There it is,
man.
We gotta talk about that.
Hold it down, Wiz.
All right, well, y'all have a good show, man.
All right, man. There it is, man. Yeah, hey, I don't like nothing New York, and I see they over there celebrating. I don't like.
Boy, you don't like nothing New York, huh?
I don't like New York pizza. I don't even like New York music. I don't like nothing New York.
I heard that.
Yeah, the only and Run DMC slid in there right before I started not liking New York. So I mean, we gonna get him a pass.
I heard that.
But other than that, man, I'm just like whatever. All right, we got about 10 more minutes before we get our interview going on. But let's go ahead and jump into our a roundtable discussion really, really quickly here. Let's see. Let me get my banner up. And we go roundtable discussion. All right, week 5 review. What did you like? What didn't you like? Who impressed? Who didn't impress? What you got?
Well, you know, I do like that my Cowboys were able to pull off a huge win against one of the most hated rivals of the Cowboys from the 70s, and that being the Pittsburgh Steelers. Plus, a lot of my family members are Pittsburgh fans. So to have my dad sit here with me, he came to town this weekend, sitting there to watch that, man, and watch us get past some of the blunders of Dak Prescott, man. It was awesome. So, yeah, that was one of the big things that I enjoyed really well, watching the Cowboys win that game.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm still thrilled about the Falcons win, man. I was super excited about that. I still think we got some red zone issues that we still need to clean up.
Yeah.
But I'd rather clean them up and be in first place than be in last place and still having to clean them up.
Exactly. And that was a division win against Tampa Bay. So you got that in your pocket also. So you definitely want to validate that this week by winning another division game against Carolina. If you can do that, that stacks. You got to stack up those division wins. They come into play when you have tiebreaking scenarios. So that was a big win.
And you beat Philly too. So shoot.
Yeah, that's a conference win. Yeah, so
tiebreaking for sure. Do you after watching these rookie quarterbacks, and I'm just being honest, after watching these rookie quarterbacks play, is it anything in you wish that you could see number 9 play as well?
Well, I told you from the start. Now, Kirk to me had a real good game this past weekend, but I hadn't seen enough from him coming off that injury that really, gave me any cause to pause. I wasn't really impressed with him. It's been my statement the whole time was I didn't understand the excitement but bringing him in to Atlanta because, he had a better situation than me in Minnesota and he didn't get it done. So, I was just never really enthusiastic about him coming here. So, my whole thing is you're wasting valuable time with a guy that's sitting on your bench now, but you would have been able to build around him using money, using resource to make your team better and allow him to grow. And now you won't have that luxury. You're pretty much in a win now mode with Kirk Cousins sitting here going to tie up so much of your salary cap. So yeah, you back to your original question. Would I have loved to see Penix play? Yeah, if you're going to take him that high in the draft, I would have liked to seen him play at least by the middle of the year. Because I still, when I look at the Falcons team, I don't see a Super Bowl caliber team. So with that, why are you wasting time with, well, you're wasting time in my opinion. If you're not a Super Bowl team, you're wasting valuable time that Penix could be playing and getting better. So I don't know. We'll see, man. The other thing about it is we saw Kansas City do this same thing with Patrick Mahomes. He sat his first year. It was a different situation. They had an incumbent quarterback already in fold. So when they drafted Mahomes, they drafted him for the future. And he wasn't the 8th pick overall, I don't believe. Did they move up to take him? I think they did, but I don't know. I don't think it was that high.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just, I still think this was mismanaged. And that's just my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with it, and they feel like that it was the right choice, the right thing to do. So it's done now. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think we need to clean up just a little bit more cleanup, and I think we'll be good. All right, is Jaden Daniels the runaway favorite for the Rookie of the Year?
Right now, for sure. But, football is a long season, man. People can adjust when we see what happens. Look at what's happening in Houston right now, with what's happening with their quarterback. CJ Stroud was looked upon as, having this year, he was going to come in and take the league over. You know, he took them by storm a little bit last year, winning all those games, and you know, pretty much doing more of the things that Jay Daniels is doing, not to the extent, but he was looked upon as, you know, the new guy, the guy that was going to take over. And now that they have film on him and they've taken certain things away, Houston is not looking like Houston of last year. He's not looking like CJ Stroud of last year. So as this year goes on and defense coordinators get film on Daniels, we'll see if he can continue on do the things he's doing. But he's going to face challenges, and it's just about, you know, can he overcome them? Because they're gonna put a couple of things in play here and take some stuff away from him. So I'm really ready to see what's going to happen as the season goes. So I'm not going to pencil him in right now. He's the leader in the clubhouse, but it's a lot of football left. So we'll see.
Okay, dope. Let me see my last thing I wanted to talk about. Club Shay said you didn't see the interview though, did you? No,
he had another one with Cat. Is this something new or is it old?
This is the one, the most recent one with Cat. I don't think he did, where he talked about the Mount Rushmore and talked about how Cat grew up a Knicks fan, even though he's from Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So he got the best of both worlds. He got his dream job playing in Minnesota. You know, just to get it started. And he said the first thing he did was paid his parents' house off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Shannon said, "What? So you can have somewhere to stay in case it don't go right." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I always have somewhere to go."
That's right. Well, you gotta take care of mom and dad anyway, but that's big. But yeah, I still, you know, like we talked about a little bit last week. I just didn't see the value in what Minnesota did until, like Maurice said, it's a contract driven move. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that, you know, I didn't see them breaking up the Villanova aspects of the Knicks, but I knew Julius Randle was not going to be a part of the Knicks. Well, I felt strongly about it. I didn't know because I'm not making those decisions. But in my opinion, I didn't see him finishing or even beginning this year as a Knick. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that move, bringing in Cat, I just don't know. When you look at Cat, didn't want to play center in Minnesota, you know, so, but he's going to have to play in the middle a little bit this year. So how does that balance? Yeah. You know, we look at Cat and he wants to shoot it. He wants to stretch the floor. He's not really back to the basket, but even though there's not a lot of back to the basket, but I think they're trying to move the game back to a little bit more physical nature. And I hope we get to talk about NBA here pretty soon, because I'm hearing some things that with how FIBA basketball was played and the popularity of the physical nature of it, the NBA is probably going to take some aspects of that and, you know, swallow the whistle a little bit, not blow the whistle and give all these superstar calls to everybody and put them on the line. Because I think that game was just so much more palatable, but with the, you know, the physical nature that they had. You still had Steph go off and be able to shoot it and do the things he did, but I just like that they're able to at least put their hands on players a little bit more, body them. You know, if you watch the WNBA, they're way more physical than the NBA, you know, and I just think it's good to see, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to come. I think that's what we're looking for this year. I think you'll see more of a physical nature in basketball. I think it started last year. If you watch the latter part of the year, they start swallowing the whistle a little bit.
Yeah. All right, we finna move on, Han, and we got this interview coming up, and she just went off. Hold on. She was just on here. Yeah, you want me to? You got any questions about the breast cancer or anything, or you want me? I got all the questions.
No. I'm gonna buckle in. Go ahead and do your thing. I'll be right here, baby.
So you go buckle in, and
I'm gonna buckle in.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, here we go. She done came back in, and yes, sir, it is that time. We had on back when we was in the penthouse one time. When we were
Yeah, I
doing
remember.
yeah. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. We got to get them hand claps. Uh-oh. There we go. The hand claps is in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the show, my big sis. And she is the CEO of Thank God for Everything.
Hello.
Dr. Beth, Dr. Sprinkles, Beth Goodman. What's going on, sis? How you doing? Uh-oh.
I think she froze on you, big homie.
Yeah, I think she froze.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, there we go.
Hello. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We got Mr. Hancock here and got Beth, Dr. Sprinkles on the line.
Life is
letting
good.
us know,
Life is
yeah,
good.
letting us know what's going on with everything.
Outstanding. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm outstanding.
I see. Uh-oh. Still trying to get a whole tight there. She must have T-Mobile or something. Is that a bad thing to say?
Oh no, you.
All right, I gotta wait for her to get back on. But that internet connection, something else, ain't it?
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't know if she's out again. She probably needs to back out and come back in.
Yeah, she says I'm waiting on her to come back in now. You doing any prize picks during the baseball?
I hadn't done anything prize pick on the baseball. I think Jalen is doing some things. I think he I don't know why I hadn't gotten into it, so we'll see. Maybe do something tomorrow.
All right, there she go.
I think it's better. Is that better?
Yeah, look at you looking wonderful.
Y'all.
You're looking wonderful.
Hey.
I got so many people. I got so many people tuning in to listen to your story. I promise you, I got the people listening to this wonderful story of yours, and I want you to tell it. So before we even start, let me just say this: I got my big homie over here to the right of me, and he is a cancer survivor as well. So we got to give props to Amen for surviving this ugly thing of the C word, as we'll call it, the C word. And sis, I don't know how long it was, but I know it was maybe 8 to 10 years ago. We had you on the show when you was on the Slick Money show at that point, and you had just received or just got recovered from it. And I was so proud of you and happy for you. But let's go ahead and jump into these questions because I want everybody to get some knowledge and get some education and follow the story. So my first question
Absolutely. Let's go.
My first question is this. What is the biggest misconception of breast cancer or cancer in itself?
The biggest misconception is that it is an old white woman's disease.
Okay.
That's the biggest misconception. It looks white. That is. Its misconception is that we all have cancer cells in our body. Every single one of us has cancer cells that are in our body. So what happens is when the cancer cells ultimately form a gang and they start ganging up on your good cells and induct them into their gang called cancer. But all of us have cancer cells in our bodies. And the third one is that men can't get breast cancer, but in fact, they can. Anyone can get breast cancer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we got to make sure we stay
And
on
so
top.
you have to make sure that you stay on top of it by performing your monthly self-examinations, even as you all are. Every month, decide on when you are going to check your chest. You get to check your chest to see if you feel nodules, the same way that we perform monthly self-examinations. Men get to do the same thing because we all have mammary tissue. We all have the tissue. You get to perform and you get to rub around and feel around and see if you feel anything there, because men do get breast cancer. While it is rare that it happens, it has happened. You're familiar with Richard Roundtree?
Yes.
The actor Richard Roundtree. He was a breast cancer survivor, and I think he recently transitioned earlier this year. He was a breast cancer survivor. So men can get breast cancer. And so that's why my children, my sons, are genetically predisposed because I was diagnosed. So they have to be self-conscious of performing and feeling around to see if they feel anything for the rest of their lives.
So you saying men and women should do self-checks every month?
Absolutely. You know, if you have a partner, a girlfriend, boyfriend, or wife, you can make it fun, right? And every month around the same time, you get her to help you check your chest, or whatever your partner is. For anyone watching, you get your partner to help you check your chest, and she gets you to help her perform her best breast health examination. And then what happens after that is on y'all. But you have each other help. Yeah, I knew y'all would get it somewhere down the line. But you both have each other's help in your hand.
Yeah. All right. So now we're promoting foreplay on the ASRT show. In a good
You know
way.
what? That is not, if listen, if that's what you want to call it, that's what you call it. But let me tell you something. It gives longevity. It gives health, and it gives happiness. Don't make me come back. Don't make me get you on the Sprinkles After Dark podcast where we can talk about those things now.
Yeah,
Sprinkles After
Dark. Please get me on there.
Come on, Sprinkles After Dark.
Hallelujah.
Coming soon. Sprinkles After
go.
Dark.
All right, my next question is this.
Yes.
What was your initial reaction when you got diagnosed?
My initial reaction was doctor came in, and oddly enough, his name was Dr. Shock. Dr. Shock came in and said, you have ductal carcinoma, DCIS. And I said to him, what is that? And is it on sale? And Horace can attest, I handle serious things with humor. I'm a very jovial person. So I said, what is that? And is it on sale? And of course, he had been my breast surgeon for several years. And at the time, my husband was with me, and he nudges me and, get serious. And he said, well, Miss Goodman, you have breast cancer. And I said, immediately, I'm going to live and not die. He said, you're not going to die. You will live. I said, well, I just needed to make sure that we were on the same path, because how can two walk together unless they agree? And so from that point forward, I never gave fear the opportunity to set in, because I knew that faith that God had me. When you have a relationship and when you have the resolve to know that God knows the thoughts and plans for you, cancer was never meant to hurt or harm me, but it was to prosper me and give me hope and expected in hope and a future. So I never gave fear the opportunity to set in. Everyone's story is unique to their journey. And I have been told that my story is very unique. However, it's mine and I tell it, and that's literally what happened. I never gave fear a chance, because
Okay.
faith and fear cannot reside in the same place, just as light and darkness. And I'm sure Hancock can agree that once he made the decision to live and not exist, he began to live.
Yeah.
And his faith took over if there was any level of fear. You know, a lot of times people send people to me when they're initially diagnosed, and, you know, their first things, oh my, I can't, and they're overwhelmed, and I get it. And I ask them simply, let me ask you one question. Do you want to live or do you want to die? And when you make a person stop and consider their mortality, it's shocking. It shocks the system like an ice bath. It shocks the system. And they get like, dang, she just asked me if I wanted to live or die. And you're like, wait a minute, do I want to live or do I want to die? Of course, I want to live. So in the 17, soon to be 17 years of almost 17 years of being cancer free, I've never had anyone to say they want to die, because it makes the person stop and capture the thought of their existence. And in that moment, they get to make a choice and a decision. And from that moment is what I support them in. If anyone ever should respond to say they want to die, I'm going to help them have the happiest death. But when you get it in your mind and you get the resolve, I've got to live. You know, so many, when the first things you hear, the first thing you think of when you hear cancer is death.
Yes.
All diagnosis is not a death sentence. And that's what people get to understand. All diagnosis is not a sentence.
We
and
can
here
put
I
that in
am next month. Yes. And so next month not next month, this month on the 19th, it'll be 17 years cancer free.
All right. So
it is not a death sentence.
On that day, we got to go out and celebrate at the Big Easy Grill.
What? Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Hey, I stay ready.
Okay.
Listen.
Good. All right. So we got to get to the next question. Who and what was your support system during your recovery?
So during my recovery, my support system was my husband at the time, my children, my family, and my friends.
Okay.
They were my support system. You know, my boys were champions. You know, at the time they were 4 and Trey was 4 and Taylor was 11, about to be 12. So you can imagine the devastation of a child hearing or having an understanding of what's happening to their mom, you know, because I never protected them, if you will. I wanted them to be a part of the journey so they would have an understanding and not be fearful. There's so many people that when they get diagnosed, they hush up about it. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. They do the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. And they begin to become a recluse and are embarrassed by their diagnosis and don't want to share it. But that's when we get to be most vocal in sharing, because people need to know, particularly in our culture. You know, Nana them, grandma them, auntie them, they didn't talk about when they were sick. And what would happen if we had those conversations for us to know that somewhere down the line, it was genetically in our bloodline? You know, let the truth be told, I was the first person to be diagnosed, but then shortly I was diagnosed at 39. But shortly after me, my aunt, who was maybe, 15 years older than me, was diagnosed. And then some cousins had a couple of days where it was a concern. Well, what would happen if we had had those conversations? And so now that's why I am very vocal with sharing my story, with sharing my journey, with helping and supporting others navigate through this, because you don't get to do this alone. You don't get to do this. You get to do this with love, with hope and support, and you get to be educated so that you're not fearful. You know, I've been breast health conscious since the 11th grade when I had my first lumpectomy.
Okay.
I'll let you figure it. I know y'all like, dang, 11th grade. I had my first lumpectomy on my right breast. And then in 2000, 2002, 2004, lumpectomies on my left breast. And then the cancer was discovered in 2007. So my girls have known what this process is for a very long time. They have been breast health conscious since the 11th grade.
That's awesome. Which leads me to my next question.
Yes.
What was the most difficult part of this journey of being 17 years free?
So the most difficult part of this journey was not being able to pull the covers up around my neck. As crazy as it sounds, I could not pull the covers over my neck. I had prepared myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, but I didn't prepare myself to need other people. Not with something small as pulling up the sheets, because the type of surgery I had, I have a scar from one hip to the other, and that's what I call my smile. And then my nose is the belly button, and my eyes are the girls. So I literally am a walking smile, and figuratively a walking smile. And so because of where they performed the tram flap, and the tram flap is the type of surgery that I had, and what they do is they cut the skin, pull it down, remove the skin, reconstruct the breast with the skin from my stomach, and put the fat from my stomach. I know y'all, I see your heart says like, man, she's got a lot happening. And put the fat from my stomach here in my left breast. And so all of those muscles down there were cut. And whether you understand it or not, everything we do, the core is the center. If you lift your hand, your core moves. The remote control, your core moves. If you sneeze, your core moves. If you stretch, your core moves. If you do this, your core moves. So pulling the covers up to my neck, did not realize that at time was going to be the worst, because I couldn't help myself. And I had to need other people. And that's the one thing I didn't prepare myself for.
Boy, that's tough.
You know, I wasn't, I had started preparing myself. You know, a lot of people experience trauma when it relates to their hair coming out. Well, I'd started preparing myself for the reality. And I think that that's what so many people fail to do. Not always does your hair come out, but you have to be prepared just in case it does. And I started preparing myself. And what I started doing was just covering my hair, see what I would look like with no hair. And that's what I started doing, preparing myself, right? Just like that. So that when it came off, I wouldn't be, oh. And when it's shedding and coming out, I was like, okay, girl, you're going to be okay. You're going to look like a milk dud, but you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. But it was most importantly for the sake of my children that I created a fun transition so that it wouldn't be traumatic and extreme for them when it started shedding. As a matter of fact, the day that my hair shed, Jacob was shampooing my hair. Ooh. Jacob was shampooing my hair, and she put her hand in, and she's like, "It's happening." And I was like, "What is happening?" She's like, "Oh my God, it's happening." And her hands were literally hair. and the hair was locking up around her fingers. And she was like, it's happening. It's happening. I said, what is happening? She said, the hair. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, if this is the time, this is the time. And she's like, I'm glad you're all right. I'm not. And so she just kind of was there with the hair literally locking around her fingers. And when she drew them out, there was hair. And so Britta was on her way to come and see me. And we went to scrambling around the house, finding pieces of her. And the same goes with my boys. When it's coming out, I created a game stand the transition that was happening, because when the hair is coming out, it is evidence that the chemo is working, and the chemo's job is to kill the cancer. You know, so many people get impacted by, oh, I'm not a woman because I don't have my breasts. I am not my breasts nor my hair. It just happened to be that the cancer was in my breast. Therefore, the cancer got to be removed, because if the cancer is anywhere else, if it's in your toe, you're going to cut the toe off. And it's not, oh, I lost my toe. It had to go because the cancer was there. And so that's my mindset. I didn't lose my breast. I gained my life. And I wear a bra to make people comfortable.
All right. All right. All right. Is there anything that you wish you would have known before treatment, before your treatment, radiation, or anything that you had to go through to get the cancer removed?
I can't say that there's not too much I didn't already know. You know, as I stated earlier, I prepared myself for everything.
Okay.
I prepared myself to fight. And when you prepare yourself to fight, you turn over every rock and you get all the information that you can without going in overload. And that's what I did. So I can't say that there's anything that I wish I had that I didn't already have.
Okay. Boy, this is a good one. This is a good story, I tell you. Being a survivor, did this give you confidence that you did not have prior to being diagnosed? I mean, I know you're a confident woman. Let's get right. But
I'll say this.
Beating cancer can give you confidence and some type of boost that you would have never thought that you could have gotten prior to being diagnosed.
So it gave me the confidence to know even more that I am unstoppable. And when I say that I'm unstoppable, the two best things that the enemy has are cancer and AIDS. When we hear either of those words, we immediately think death. I do not claim AIDS, and I've already beat cancer. Now what?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, now what? Now what?
So let me
now what?
So let me give you your flowers while you're on the phone or while you're on live here.
Yes, sir.
You went from beating cancer to walking across the stage to become a doctor, to get your PhD. How proud of a moment was that for you, and how many rivers did you create in that moment?
It was surreal. It was an out-of-body experience, and all I could do is just say thank you, God, for everything. And seeing the gleaming eyes of my son just looking like, that's my mom. I cried all the rivers. I mean, you know that I did. It was surreal, and it's not really describable
I got my
in
cousin over
words.
here clapping while he's eating and listening to the interview. He's over here clapping, and Dez in the chat line says she took the bullets from the enemy with that statement.
Come on, and did you and did?
Yeah.
Did.
So man, that's strong now. That's real strong. So going from beating breast cancer to becoming a PhD, Dr. Sprinkles, that is a book in itself.
Oh, okay.
From beating cancer.
I heard. I hear you.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
hear.
this is recorded, so we got.
I hear you.
I'm just saying.
I hear you. I hear you.
What
I
are
hear
some
you.
of the natural ways that people can take to educate themselves naturally to have a preventive type of mentality going forward?
Well, it's a lot of what we experience has to do with what we eat.
Okay.
It has a lot to do with what we eat. And while I don't eat very much chicken, I don't eat very much beef. I call myself a flexitarian. I am a pescatarian that loves bacon. I do strange things for bacon and shoes. And so now let me just take that back. In today's society, and let me just put some parameters about. Let me make some parameters. I am not talking Diddy Party kind of things. It's just it is a statement that's how much I love seafood and bacon. That's that disclaimer. But a lot of things are impactful for what we eat. I have a very good friend who, as a result of her being diagnosed with cancer, she went cold turkey and became a vegan. So to the point that she became a raw chef and started a business. And she has done all of the research and all of the things as it pertains to your food being your health. Your food coming from the ground produces health. We have everything within us to heal our own body. But if we are putting foreign things into our bodies are responding to what we give it and thinking that it's the right things to be doing.
True.
So we get to cut back on stuff. We get to live and make healthier choices.
All right, there's another message
out there is, hey, Zavada, hey.
There you go.
Yes.
Hancock cut out meat altogether. He eat watermelon and shrimp and crab legs, I guess.
Look, that works. That works.
Is that right hand? Is it just shrimp?
Yeah.
Crab legs
I eat fish. No chicken, no turkey, no beef, no pork, nothing like that. Just little seafood and mainly vegetables, things of that nature. A lot of fruit.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, they were supposed to. So we'll see. I pretty much went cold turkey myself. Just woke up one day and said that's it. So
and that's what that's what she did. And I think it's been 8 years now, 9 years.
Yeah. So it was tough. But something you said about the acceptance of, the diagnosis. I think when I first heard it, it was more like in disbelief because I've always been one of those people that I'll go take a hot shower and I can get through anything. I didn't need go see a doctor or anything like that. That just wasn't in my nature. So it was probably the first time that I felt vulnerable and I felt like, is this it? I can't beat this or whatever. I felt like I didn't feel defeated. I felt kind of just, I don't know, an experience that I'd never been in before. And I think I was more thinking about my kids and maybe not seeing them reach their potential. I think that's one of the biggest things that really affected me. And then it was a point of acceptance, and then just saying, okay, how do I fight it? Which avenue, which route do I take? Do I take more of a holistic? Do I take the surgeon approach where he wanted to cut me? Or do I take the radiation approach? So there were all these different things that I had to fight through. And I know we're talking about breast cancer. Mine was prostate.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but, just learning to, with that, you question yourself as a man on certain things, So it was a mental thing. I was told to talk to people who had gone through it, and I kind of just became reserved, just to myself. And it was tough. I'm cool now, but I can honestly say at that time, it was a challenge. It was a challenge.
Well, I am grateful.
I
I acknowledge your resilience. I acknowledge your strength. And even in sharing today, the fact that you shared it is even more of a victory for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You are a survivor, and a survivor is what I call myself as well. Anyone can survive, but are you thriving? So when you are surviving and thriving, you are thriving.
I received that, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Doc.
Keep on doing. Keep on doing.
Share.
Absolutely. My last question for you, and this is going to be a question that touches me and you at the same time, I would say. In your recovery, do you suggest therapy to help get you through the lonely times, the depression, the anxiety, the times of uncomfortableness, and just somebody to talk to that can get to be more transparent and to be more vulnerable with you?
I will say anyone that needs that, anyone that needs a therapist, there is nothing taboo about going to therapy. There's nothing. I can't personally say that I have ever had the experience. However, I encourage it and I celebrate it. Everyone has the opportunity to speak and talk to someone. And if your faith is not to a place or at a certain level, absolutely get outside support. Absolutely. There should be no reason why anyone is doing anything in life alone, because the support is there. And if you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to me.
There you go.
And go to speakwithdrbeth.com.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah, so you are a off the radar type therapist, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So you have given me the green light that anytime that I need to speak, talk, get it off my chest, then I'm welcome.
Absolutely.
And,
and you know
go
why?
ahead.
There's more room on the outside than there is on the inside. When you hold all of that in, your organs are fighting to get to, they're fighting. You're tense. Your lungs are supposed to be like this, but they can't operate because something else is making them uncomfortable. And that's when you start having strokes and heart attacks and eating disorders and all of those sorts of things, because you're holding it in. Your body is in imbalance.
Yeah.
And the word of God says, whom the Son sets free is free indeed. And so with my support, I am a strong proponent for bringing you back to your faith, bringing you back to who it is that God has called you to be. Because when you stop subscribing to what other people have said and your own prescriptions and subscriptions that you have written, when you stop subscribing to those things, you get to be who God has created you to be. We go deep and find out, okay, where did this first start? Who told you that you had to color inside the lines and that turned you into a perfectionist?
Mm-hmm. All right, before
Because
we
it's
go,
those- yes.
tell us about your branding, your website. Tell us all of what you got going on, and if you put it all out
Ooh,
there so we can get our
okay.
tenants, our listeners
Let's go.
to flood your inbox and to flood your website.
Let's go.
All
Let's
these
go.
questions. All right,
So
we just
my big baby brand right now is thankgodforeverything.net. Thankgodforeverything.net. And that brand came about because the word of the God says in 1 Thessalonians 5:18, in all circumstances, give God thanks. That is God's will for us in Christ Jesus. Whatever it is that we're going through, we get to give God thanks because that's his will. And so thankgodforeverything.net is simply the message of thank God for everything. When someone sees the shirt in that moment, in that instance, they get to say, thank God for everything. Thank God that you can read the t-shirt. I'm wearing the t-shirt. I'm alive. You can read. You have eyes. You can comprehend. Thank God for everything. There's not anything that we experience in our lifetime that we don't get to give God thanks for. Everything. Give God thanks for everything. So that's the first brand. Then Everyday Living with Dr. Sprinkles is my YouTube channel. Go and subscribe. It is a growing YouTube channel and you get to come and start tuning in. We are in the midst of getting programming together to come on once a week for Everyday Living with Dr. Sprinkles. And I would love to have the two of you on at some point in time to be one of my guests. And what we do is everyday living. We interview extraordinary people from an ordinary perspective because every single person has a sprinkle. Your purpose is your sprinkle. Then we have, what else I got going? This is launching. What? Okay, I'll put it out there.
go ahead.
Coming soon, the Awareness Company. And awareness is spelled AWEARNESS, and it's called the Awareness Company, where you wear your messages of support and hope for whatever product, whatever group that you want to support and advocate for. We are starting the Awareness Company. And Kingdom Clothes, where it's an honor to clothe you in righteousness. And I'll come back for the next one. I can't put that out there yet. It's not mine.
Okay.
But
you talking about Kingdom Clothes.
Yes, Kingdom Clothes, where it's an honor to clothe you in righteousness. Inspirational and motivational apparel and concepts where you can wear the word and a lifestyle of faith styled appropriately. This is one of the awareness shirts. Hold on. Can you see it? Y'all see that?
I survived. Yes. Let's get Hancock one of them shirts, please.
I can.
I'm paying for it.
I'm not going to do it in bling, but we're going to do it. Colon is blue, correct?
I believe.
I think colon is blue. Well, we'll figure it out. But colon,
Yeah,
whatever the color is, we'll make the shirt that color, and we'll make the I in white and the other letters in black.
There you go. His wife would be proud.
Oh yeah, definitely.
His wife would be proud. So I have one suggestion before we let you go, because it's
absolutely
one thing about you: when you do it at home, you can go as long as you want. But I want a t-shirt made, and this has helped me through this tremendous recovery that I've had as well. I am a walking Romans 12:2 guy.
Come on. Oh, it's done.
Yeah. I
It's
am a
done.
walking Romans 12:2 guy.
You got it.
Yeah. So yep, let's
And for those that don't know what Romans 12:2 is, share with them. Sprinkle them.
sprinkle them. Yes, sir. Do not be conformed by the ways of the world.
Come on now. But the what?
Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Yes,
And that's where it all starts.
That's where it all starts. And
That's where it all starts.
I had a meeting with your baby sister, man, and boy, look here. We sat down and we connected, and she told me about this salmon and how the salmon need to swim upstream. And what she did was she confirmed for me what had already been told to me. And I said, boy, God has a way of making this thing come 360.
Yeah, because you said something very powerful. It says, be ye not conformed, right? What's the first 3 letters of the word conform?
Yeah.
C-O-N.
C-O-N.
Con. The enemy has a way of conning you into transforming to the patterns of the world. Don't be conned. Don't be conformed. When you start following the pattern of the world, you are being conned. You are being tricked.
Yeah.
Therefore, don't take it on, because that's not the mind of Christ.
Exactly.
And anytime you find yourself in a pattern that is associating, you're being kind, and you get to take back and renew your mind, because renewing your mind attaches you to what God says about you. Anything else does not compute. Anything else, I'm sorry, I don't speak that language. I'm sorry. No. Silly you, not me.
There you go.
Be conformed. Transformed is changing. See, and once you change your mind, you have to stay in that mind. No going back and forth. Butterflies never go back to the cocoon. So don't go back to your old frame of mind.
Yeah, exactly. All right now. I see I'm gonna have to take you dancing as well.
Yes, I love to put on a heel and a skirt, honey.
All right now. So when they hear the music, they know it's time to get up out of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my shout outs. Shout out to you, Dr. Sprinkle, Big Sis. Thanks for coming on. Shout out to my main man, Han, for coming through and battling and being a part of this, being able to survive this ugly C word. I appreciate you, big homie. Love you, man. Thank you for just allowing me to be a part of your journey. Anything you need, I'm always here. Always here.
I really know.
Thanks for D Will for coming through. He had to go, but he had a terrible loss this past year. He lost his wife, but we put our arms around him, and in prayer we got him. And we need to continue to unite as we need to. We need to continue to unite with one another to lift each other up instead of breaking each other down. Just lift each other, and we just need to continue that. That's all I got. Absolutely. All right, Han, what you got?
Dr. Sprinkles, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate the kind words you displayed to me. I appreciate that. And, I'll take that to heart and always keep that. I always put that stuff like that in my heart, and I'll keep that. And I'll always thank you for that. And I think positive of you. So I appreciate that. Big homie, you've always been part of my support group. You know that. We go way back from Jump Street like that. So like Dr. Sprinkle said, we need that support group, especially when we face adversity and times like that. So to have people like you in my life was always a benefit, always a positive. So I'll always appreciate that. And shout out to the tenants out there for wishing me well and staying with me through that journey, man. They don't know how much that meant to me and how much this means, weekly for us to get together and do this. It's more like a fellowship than a show or a talk show. So I appreciate, man. I'll always appreciate you for that. So those are my shout outs, and shout out to my family for supporting me also. If I don't say that, I'm going to get in trouble. So anyway, do want to say that. So thanks a lot. Love y'all. And you know how we do, big homie. I'm going to let you do the rest of it.
All right, Dr. Sprinkles, give me your shout outs.
I want to say hi to my kids. I want to say hi to my kids. I want to say hi to my new favorite person, my granddaughter, Genesis Ruth. Hey, I love you. Your Jiva loves you so much. Real talk. Be somebody's reason to smile. Live life on purpose, for purpose, and with purpose, because it's that purpose in which you will have a life to live. Sprinkle.
Hancock, her son actually goes to UTEP, running back / wide receiver, plays football for the University of Texas El Paso.
That's all right. Okay,
Yeah.
man.
So
Number one receiver, Trey Goodman.
All right, I'll be looking out for him. That's awesome.
Yeah, he had a stint down in Austin P, and I had to put some eyes on him, so I made that happen for Dr. Sprinkles. I had some eyes that I need to make sure they would put on him,
and we are forever grateful.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. It wasn't nothing but a phone call. Hey, listen, I need you to make this happen. Make sure he stays and stays into what he needs to stay in, and we good. But now he's off into Texas and doing this thing. I'm sure El Paso is a big old place.
Boy, that's a long way out there too, man. Woo.
That's right. It's a flight away. I have only missed. Tomorrow will be the second game that I missed. The first game I missed was because of Frontier, not because of me. But tomorrow will be the first game that I've missed all season.
Oh, wow. Well, I know he know you there with him. You there with him in spirit constantly,
Absolutely.
So he knows.
Not everybody can say they can sit on their couch and watch their son play on prime time.
There you go.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. All right. With that being said, we're gonna let you stay around and watch us how we sign off this thing.
Okay.
And I think you'll like it. All right, Han, for all the tennis, we appreciate it. We appreciate Dr. Sprinkles. And you know how we do it. All right, Han, let's roll.
I'm headed home, baby.
It's your main man, H.O. from Bankhead, R.I.P. Moms and Pops, and R.I.P. BC. And if you love the show,
sprinkle them.
And if you didn't,
sprinkle them even more.
Yeah, baby.
And we out. Peace.
Peace.
Sprinkle.